All right, so got a PowerPoint, so I can talk to this. I'll be asking, for interaction. So this is like we all have a chat and we help each other. So I'll kind of lead it and I'll ask questions as we go along. So as I said, this is what we call our momentum makers meeting. So we're patching, inviting, and duplicating fantastic stories that come up when you patch, invite, duplicate. Just I've met so many new people, and yeah, I just love it so much, and I really appreciate everybody coming on. It's a little bit earlier, and I just felt like that is better for us rather than during dinner time and getting a bit later after dinner. So we tried this one, and we seem to be pretty happy with the time so far. Um, so yeah, with the momentum makers, our simple system is patch, invite, duplicate. So I've got here on the screen Zoom with Upline. I'll explain a bit about that during the meeting. Patch, invite, have a Zoom meeting, and then we follow up with people and we duplicate that process. It's really simple. Um, so simple that I've had so many good results. So that's why I wanted to share it with everybody, because we're not overloading people with information. And that's something that I find is easy. We think we have to tell everything, but at the end of the day, the X39 experience covers a lot of it, and then we can help people get the more information if they want it after that. Um, so let me just move on to the next slide. And our culture is that we build together. We're happy. We're all full of energy. I love it, and we sponsor weekly because we're patching and we're inviting and we're duplicating. So I was looking at myself. I was like, well, I got about 6 patches on people this week, and that was a quieter week for me, but I'm still out there and I'm still, I met a lady at pickleball and that was kind of cool. And she was very interested. So that's great. And small actions, as long as I'm being consistent. And I'm sure Louise will agree because Louise has been out patching people at the gym, etc. Small actions do create momentum and you never know where it's going to go. Okay, so we'll just open it up. Anybody like to share a patch story from this week?
I will.
Okay, great.
To my surprise,
Uh-huh.
I was actually on my route to church this morning. Actually, on my way from church this morning, I was talking to a friend of mine about my day, and I had a lot that was going on. And we were just talking about activity, what was going on. And I mentioned to him, by the way, what my day was like, and that I had this 5 o'clock Zoom. And I told him what the Zoom was all about. And he said, I know Mama Blue Blue is looking at me like, you got to be kidding. A friend of mine named Gregory, he said, you know what? I heard about the patch 3 years ago when I was in Germany. I'm like, what? And a friend of mine just told me about it over in London last year. I said, what? And he says, yeah. And I said, well, I'm your contact here in Richmond. So you don't have to go to London, you don't have to go to Germany. He said, well, how has it been working for you? And I said, well, I was a little skeptical because someone's telling me about this patch and I didn't know. I said, so yes, skepticism was all over the place. I said, but Mama Blue Blue, I'm sorry, I love Mama Blue Blue. That's what I call her. She kind of talked to me about it. She kind of coaxed me into trying it. I was a little reluctant. And I said, I'm going to try it. But after about 2 months, 3 months, I said, there's something to this. There's something to this. And what I started to realize, I was realizing it was helping me with focusing. It was helping me with anxiety. It was helping me with depression. It was helping me to be consistent with my day. It's like the little things that takes time to build, but when you start realizing it, you start realizing it, that it really does make a difference. So I remember when I was running a little low, and I started to panic. I said, Mama Blue Blue, what are we gonna do? She said, well, I'll take care of it. We take care of it. We took care of it. But I'm realizing now for me, it is a matter of having it being a part of my morning day. When I wake up to have breakfast, when I wake up to drink whatever I do, and I'm putting on the patch and I'm drinking my juice and I'm moving on without my day, it gives me balance with my day. and I am a X39 fan, and I'm excited about growing this. And that's my 2 cents for this Sunday afternoon on the East Coast at 5:12 p.m.
Thank you for your 2 cents. That was fantastic. I love it. Um, yeah, I was just going to say the brain clarity is coming up. My brother is in Australia, so another country, but he's like, "Oh, I didn't know," as you just said, building it, and now he's like, "Oh my gosh, I'm sharper than I was when I was 40." So he's in that. So thank you so much. Any other patching stories this week? Go, Louise.
Well, I'd love to share. As you know, I'm in Toastmasters, and I met a gentleman. He's an Army Ranger. He's retired, 47 years old, and we have a lot in common. He's a voiceover actor, plus, he is into health and fitness, and he likes to work with young kids. So I told him about the X39 patch, and then he told me about his story because many soldiers that have PTSD, they go to Mexico and they get stem cell injections or therapy. He says it's very, very expensive and he didn't want to do that. And he says, I heard about the X39. He just moved here a year and a half ago. And I did kind of like what Belle said. I says, well, I'm your contact here in Douglasville, Georgia. So I invited him to a Zoom this week. And because our motto in LifeWave is be the light, I invited him to church because we are also assigned to be the light in other ways too. So be the light, be the light. He came to church today. And
Awesome.
So it was just a good be the light, feel good experience.
Awesome.
I've got a new line now in Tallahassee. Awesome.
And he met my husband, and the two of them are going to a PTSD meeting with other soldiers on Wednesday. And so it's just a win-win situation all the way. It opens up the doors to physical wellness, mental wellness, and spiritual wellness. It's a home run.
Oh, fantastic.
Okay.
Wow. That's great. And I sent you that the testimony from my brother. You got that right. Yes, because yeah, he had PTSD and all of that. So it's a really nice heartfelt testimony. Um, okay, so yeah, I patched a lady. I'll talk about it a bit later. I'm hoping that she comes on. She's not on yet though. Otherwise I'll just cover it for my story. And then, especially for you, Belle, just coming in, we just have this really simple system. So like if I was talking like having more experience here, I'd be like, oh, why don't you try the patch, right? And just patch that guy, right? And then, oh, what, do you have his number? Look, I'll just follow up tomorrow. Because we're looking for people that have an experience, because when they have an experience, they're like, they love it. And we're not selling. You know what I mean? It's just sharing. Just try it. Just try it. And I've had that come back at me a lot. People are like, oh, this was so relaxed and so easy. It's not like you're putting a product in front of people and going, you need this, like this salesy, hard sales pitch, I guess.
And
You
you're
know,
not taking a pill.
that's right.
It's an
That's right.
easier sell because sometimes people are looking for what's the pill, what to take, and some people are already on a medication. So when you're thinking about people who are even mentally lazy because of how social media has made us, what's the easiest way to do it? Take the little sticker off the back and put it on and keep rolling.
Yeah. And the famous line that I got from a seminar I went to, but now I just go patch and run.
That's good.
And then they're like, wow, what was that thing? Like, my pain's gone, or I got more energy, or etc. So yeah, it's really cool. So what else have we got here? So let me.
Julie,
Mhm.
would you mind sharing with the folks that may not know what is the news when you talk to people and they ask you, well, what do you do? Could you please tell me what
Oh,
your answer is?
I'm going to go through that.
Oh, okay.
Don't
It's so
worry.
good.
Thank you for asking. It's coming up. So just I've got the banner up the
It's
top.
Cheryl.
Let me move that down. Hi, Cheryl.
Julie, I want to share my pot story too.
Okay,
Just today.
I've got you on as well in a minute.
Oh, okay.
I'm quite organized, believe it or not. So I will call on you shortly. Okay. Thank you. So, right. So this is our simple system. Okay. So really, Will's new, Bell's new. So I've got to keep reinforcing this. So when we patch someone, especially when you have warm contacts, it's so easy. So easy because people love you. You know, we all have people that love us. So all the people that love me have all been patched for sure. So looking for the experience. I patched my brother years ago. He lives in Australia. I go back over there. He's been on him for 3 years or something. And then we patched his son because his son was in a lot of pain. But he's standing on one foot because he had a bad back. We put the X39 on him and he's standing up on one foot. I mean, like going, this is amazing. He's had the battery pack. So warm contacts, go to those first, rather than once you've exhausted your contact list, then you can meet people you don't know. But I would strongly suggest going to the people you love first. It's easier. What you can do is then invite them to a Zoom. So Louise does the Zooms as well. I know Cheryl's starting them up. We do them. So Belle, your contact is Mama Blue. Is that right? Mama Blue. Did I get that right?
Louise Bowie.
Louise
Louise
Bowie.
Bowie.
Okay,
Yes.
I'll go with Louise Bowie, and then we're always here to assist you as well. So, yeah, so that when I say invite them to Zoom, and then you can always use your upline for support. So I've sponsored a number of personals, like Louise utilizes Canute and I as her technical upline for support. She calls me, oh yeah, I just need a bit of help with this, or you don't have to do this business alone. You don't need to explain everything to everyone, but we've all done it before. The system is the system, and yeah, we can use that, and it makes it very simple because everybody's busy, right? So we want to make this as smooth a process as possible. And when you get duplication, you don't have to be spending a lot of time, you know, dealing with people, phone calls all the time, because if they're duplicating the system, it's simple, right? I had Will's come on early, but Will's patched about, I don't know, at least 6 people, and I didn't actually know him. He delivered my mail, but I put a patch on him and he had an experience. So he's already been out patching because the system's so simple, right? Which is great. Is that right, Will?
Yes, ma'am.
Anyone can do it. I don't want people to think this is too difficult, right? It's really simple. So that's the whole feeling behind that. Um, so really simply patch. So we have sample cards. I have a little, I don't know if you can see this. I have a little pencil case. I have my patches in it. So my sample pack, right? So I have an X39 and a neon normally, and I have these sample cards. Now you don't have to use these sample cards. You can have your own, but we use these because they're just easy. I just order them off a website. Can you have you been patched? It says, and then we've got the little cards on here, so you can have different colors. But I like giving this with an X39. I patch people. That's what I like to do. It works for me. People get a little bit of information. There's all the clinical studies, the testimonies. They can zap this and get their information, how to wear the patch. Although most of the time I patch people directly, because if I just give it to them, there's a chance they may not wear it. So that's a pro tip, that one. So try and get it on them before 3 o'clock in the afternoon so they've got a long period to wear it. Invite them to view a Zoom so they can see more of the technology, right? What it does, because they don't know. Guaranteed they don't know, right? So when they come onto a Zoom, they're 80% more likely to try the patches. If they don't and they just sign up, generally they don't know how long they should wear it. Oh, why shouldn't I should be feeling differently. It's you should LifeWave recommend that you wear the patch for 1 month for every 10 years you've been alive. But if they don't come on a Zoom, they don't know that, right? So certainly when if you're close to your upline, like you will see a Zoom. I know, Belle, you've been on a Zoom. I know Will's been on a Zoom. I know Center's been on a Zoom, right? So that's why they're here, because they know the power of it. But we just found that people are like, oh, no, I don't feel anything. So, but if they don't come on a Zoom, they don't know that. Okay, and then of course I've just got the follow up there and duplicate. So that duplicate keeps coming up. Is there any questions? All good? Okay.
I have
So,
a question. I have two
okay, two
questions.
questions. Okay, go
Okay,
for
what's
it.
your what's your response when somebody's like on board, like, well, yeah, I'll try patch, but once you bring up the Zoom, they're immediately, it's like wall up. They're not doing it. And then they start backtracking out of the conversation. And so that was one. The other one was, what's your response when they agree to a patch? And then just gosh, maybe 25 minutes, they've come back to you with their dizzy. I just
Mhm.
took it off of them and
Yeah.
stopped and said, hey, we'll try another day. And I thought, well, I'll get back with them because they were interested. They didn't refuse the Zoom. And then they got dizzy. We took it off and I thought, well, I'll just wait and ask you on
Right.
today.
Right. Okay. So they're very good questions. So the dizzy one I will cover. Um,
Okay.
so I've probably, in the last month, I probably patched 30 people. I had two, three people that had a dizzy, nauseous,
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah.
So there is a natural detox going on with some people. Like I'm getting a natural detox, but it didn't affect me, right? So people sometimes have a detox that involves having a headache. It's not a side effect though, it's a detox. So
Okay.
they need to drink electrolytes.
Okay.
Highly likely they're dehydrated. So I
Okay.
always ask people, have you drank water? Are you hydrated? Right.
Okay.
Although I have patched some people and they've just got nauseous straight away. I had a guy we were having breakfast with, and then he just got nauseous like straight away. It was incredible.
Wow.
However, he said, oh, I had a big night last night. And I'm like, well, you're probably really dehydrated. I mean, I don't know, but
Okay.
it happens occasionally. But we did explain to him that there may be a detox, so he's pretty good about it. Um, so I would, it's really just asking those questions up front. And I
Okay.
do have a little book here. I found that this little patch book is really cool. It's by Dr. Jen Sullivan. It's small. It's a really handy resource to have, and it actually talks about it in here as well. So it's good for a rep to have, right? So proper hydration, electrolytes, success tips.
Okay.
So you could just say to them, hey, let's try the patch again, but let's make sure that you're hydrated, make sure you've had some electrolytes,
Okay.
right? Because
All right. Good to know.
it's a wellness technology. So we want people to be more hydrated. Okay, does that make sense?
Okay. Yeah.
All
Good to
right.
know. Thank
Okay.
you.
Now, with people that you said have a wall up, are they people that you know, or is it a new person?
It was someone I had worked with and mentioned something about my energy. So I
Right.
started talking about it, and it's like, look, I have a patch. And we went on through the patch. And then I said, she was like, well, how do you buy these? Are they in the store? And I said, well, you just order them. And I said, you can watch a Zoom on it. I didn't say, oh, you pay me or anything like that. I said, oh, you just watch a Zoom on it. And then I could tell it was conversation. She was done. She was just like,
Mm.
oh, okay. And then she just, you know how people backtrack out of the
Yeah.
conversation.
Well, sometimes people, I can't say what people do. I mean, I find them
Right, right.
as well. But I would be more like sometimes I give people a patch, but I mentioned the Zoom before. But at the end of the day, if they don't want to come on a Zoom, but they want to buy the patch, I'm like, okay, well, I've got the order form there or something, right? Like,
Okay.
you know, but I mean, yeah, just some people are like that. I mean, I don't know. Does anybody else have any? anything that they would say. I tend to get them to agree beforehand, but I'm not saying that it would be perfect if I was in your shoes.
Yeah,
Kind of before I hand over a $3.50 patch, right? And then they're going to
right.
just fall up. So, do you want to say something, Louise? Yeah.
Well, maybe you could ask them, well, why would you hesitate going on a Zoom? It has information, and I have found knowledge is power. So let me tell you about this exciting technology. You could ask them a question. Why would you say that? And you can't overcome an objection not unless you know why. So as if it's a friend, why would you object that? It's only 45 minutes and it can change your life. And smile.
Yeah, that's good. Okay.
Because really, it's true. It's 45 minutes and it can change your life. It changed my life. I don't know about your life, but it probably changed it too. It can change it physically, it can change it mentally, and even, financially for some people. I haven't, just ask them why,
Okay.
and
No,
then,
I still get around them, so
Mhm.
I'll wait and they
Yeah.
still notice I had energy and they do not. So
and some people you just can't help, and that's okay.
right,
There's
right.
too many people out there waiting for this technology that
Right.
have pain, all kinds of things but you have to help the people that want to be helped.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it sucks your energy.
Right. Yep.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
thank
good.
you, Louise. That's great. All
Mhm.
right, this is recorded to Center if you want to replay it later, right? You can get what she was saying. That's great. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, we're up to Cheryl. So, Cheryl is part of, she joined us a few months back. Now, Cheryl, your professional,
Counselor.
you're a counselor, mental health counselor, right?
Mhm.
So, Cheryl her mother had a fantastic experience with the X39. So, Cheryl, if you wouldn't mind just sharing that for now, and then I'm going to grab you later for a bit of mindset as well.
Sure. And I
Thank
want to
you.
share about my patch today as well.
Okay,
So you
great.
asked about patch today. My son, you guys met him at the launch. And I'll talk about mom in a minute. Before the launch, he was researching because that's a kid he is. And he's like, Mom, I don't know if you want to do this. So, since December, he's been like, he came home this weekend. We're going to church. And he's like, Mom, you got any of those patches? So I'm always walking with it. I said, why? He said, I got a backache. I got my elbows hurt. And I
Oh,
said, I do. And he said, can I get one for my back, one for my elbow, one for my. I said, no, you just only need one. So he left earlier. I'm waiting to get his story because he was so reluctant. But now he's asking, I need about 5 of them, Mom, all
oh,
over my. So I thought I'd share that with you.
that's
Thought
fantastic. Oh, we
okay.
love it.
So that
We
was
love it.
this morning.
Great.
But guys, I started doing this, and Louis started sharing with earlier. My mom had been in the hospital. We joke about it being a yearly vacation. It's been about a year in and out of the hospital. And about September, October, the doctor said, I'm sorry, there's nothing else we can do for you. She's got 6 months or less to live. During this time, I'm in Toastmasters with Luis, and Luis talking about this patch, what it can do, how it can help. My mom has dementia too, and one of the things that really pulled me was when she said it helps with cognition. And I'm like, I have nothing to lose if I use it for my mom. Long story long, the last day mom was in the hospital when they said there's nothing else we can do. I'm like, I have nothing to lose, like literally nothing to lose. And so I took the patch and I put it on her back because I didn't want the doctors to think that anything was interfering with it. I'm like, I have nothing to lose. I'm not exaggerating when I say within a week, mom had to be helped into the car to get home. Within a week, she was outside in a wheelchair, wasn't walking. Today, we're in our 6th month. Her blood pressure has stabilized. She's
Wow.
still taking her meds now, right? But now we decide whether or not we want to give it to her because it's like 120. Those numbers, I can't
Oh,
remember,
wow.
Mom, those numbers, right? So we'll decide what to give it to her because she's still in hospice. We have not been able to see what's working or what's not working, but visually, She's walking, she's communicating. You know, sometimes she has her moments, and we know that that happens in dementia, but it's a different woman than she was 6 months ago.
Yeah.
And I shared with individuals that I gave this patch 3 weeks. They gave us 6 months or less, right? I gave her 3 weeks. I said, if anything changes within 3 weeks, Louise got me. And within three, yeah, that's what I said. She got me because when my sister is like, Cheryl, something's happening. But of course, we have no way to test it, right? Because she's in hospice, they don't do anything. But we've seen it day in and day out. The nurse comes in regularly and she says, you're a strong woman. I also patched her too, but she refuses to see the Zoom. And she knows it worked because she calls me and she said, within 2 hours, I was feeling better. I said, do you want to come on the Zoom? We're still waiting. I'm still gonna hit her up.
We're going to use Louise's lines.
Yes, yes. But it's just been amazing what has been happening and how coherent she is on her birthday. She turned 87 last December.
Wow.
And I said, I was just here with her because I'm the primary caretaker. My sisters helped me. And I said, Mom, what does it feel like to be 87? Honestly, when I asked her, I was just expecting gibberish. And this woman was so coherent. I can't believe I'm 87. God has given me so many years. And now she's, you know, fluently. And I'm like, okay, let me ask her about her kids. And she knew everybody. And I'm like, okay, what do you want
Wow.
for your kids? I want that 87. I want them to live loving and I want them to just help each other. And I'm like, something's happening. So, Luis, you got me. You got me. I'm here.
Thank you.
I don't know what tomorrow might bring, but in this moment, right now, phenomenal, phenomenal. So I'm here.
Oh, thank you, Cheryl. It's so
Yes.
many, it's just life-changing, this technology for people. I mean, just across the board. And, now we have wonderful Cheryl in our team because of something that happened with your mum, and yeah, it's incredible. Um, so I was going to just quickly speak about, I had a lady coming on, but she hasn't come on right now. So I'll just tell you a little bit about Patch, what happened, how it can move pretty quickly. So I had a massage the other day, actually talking about people that won't come on a Zoom. That's kind of funny. So I have a massage therapist up in this small county. So she had a broken wrist. So I patched her and I go and have a massage and stuff. She had phenomenal results, but still doesn't want to have any patches or anything, right? Just some people are like, okay, maybe later, I guess. I don't know. But I went next door to the soap place and the lady in there is an absolute doll, like so nice. And I thought, you know what, I'm going to go in and see if I can get a patch on her because I want to bless her, right? Because I'm there to help people. I had no idea what was behind her. Having a conversation, like I love the soap in there, I'm always in there buying stuff. So I just said to her casually, I said, do you know actually what I do? And she's like, no, I don't. And I said, I help people have better health without medication. And she went, I really? Well, what is it? And then I showed her my patch. I was wearing one. So we had a little conversation about that. I pulled out my little sample patch envelope with the patch in it, right? So I had that. I said, "Oh, I've got a sample. Would you like a sample?" And she's like, "Yes." I said, "Well, we can have a Zoom, where you can see what's happening with that." And she said, "Oh, I'd love to do that." So I actually patched her and she was very happy. She said, and I gave her the link. This is it, info.com. So I left. She gave me her private number. She'd seen me in there a couple of times, I guess, but I mean, I certainly didn't know her personally. Anyway, then she texted me she could come on a Zoom the following Monday or something, but she said something about, oh, she had a detox actually. She had a detox on the X39. Next, now Centre's talking about it. But she was okay with it. She said, I have a few issues. And I said, well, you need to take it off, drink some electrolytes. So I got Canute to take her up an Eon patch. So the Eon patch, if you don't know what it is, it works with the X39, and they're the two main ones that we use. So Eon will just help to get the inflammation down. It also helps to calm the nervous system. So if people are having, a higher detox, I go put an Eon on them instead, right? If they're willing to come on a Zoom and they're positive, right? So Canute went up there, so he was talking to her and gave her an Eon patch. And then she said, "Well, my son's got autism, and all these other things, right? The different family members." So the Eon went great. She felt great. She comes on the Zoom. Then we had to then we had to meet. So anyway, she signed up the other day. Like she didn't mind being on a detox. But I met her son. I dropped in the patches to they're on Thursday. I met her son. He's 28. He's got some sort of autism, although he's a high achiever, right? So maybe it's part of Asperger's. Very high achiever, lovely guy. He goes, I don't know what was going on with that patch you gave me, which was Eon. He said nothing happened. And I'm like, well, it's a happy patch. It's not, nothing's really meant to happen because we were thinking, oh, he might have a detox too. But anyway, I said, why don't you just try this X39 then? And he said, yeah, I'll try anything, he says, because this medication isn't working and it's really holding me back in my life. So he said, I've had 2 years and now I'm like, oh, it's just not working. I get really temperamental, etc. So I patched him. He just put it on his wrist and he was just talking with his mum. I said, just make sure you drink some water. I always do that, just in case. About 10 minutes, he said, my heart rate's just gone down. He goes, it's normally at 120, it's now at 105. He goes, like he was very aware of what's going on in his body, which I thought was pretty cool. So then he was like, this is something I could probably use. And then he calls his mum later and he said, I'm a lot calmer. I haven't had an episode. So he's bought a sleeve off his mum because she came in as an advance. She had extra patches, right? Because when people are right there, you've got one, right? So he bought that off her. So that's to be continued. However, there's a lot of people behind them. So the patches are starting to, we're getting some experiences and then people will share, have a launch with the people they love, that sort of thing. And that's how we do it. But it's really exciting. I was hoping she could come on today, but maybe it'll be next week. But I wanted her to talk about, she was like, oh, I wouldn't sell this. And I'm like, well, what makes you think I'm asking you to sell it? That's what I said to her. And she's like, well, I just kind of assumed because I've been in all these other network marketings and da 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 da. So we got all that out. And then I said, no, I just share it. Did I sell to you? And she's like, oh, no, I don't even remember what you did. It was so easy, right? So anyway, the son says to her when I'm sitting there, you're going to sell this now, aren't you, Mum? And she's like, well, yeah, I just signed up. I'm good. And I thought it was so cool. I mean, you just meet people. It's just like you've known them forever. So it was really nice. So I thought you'd like that story. You can do it nice but I like the line better health without medication. It just opens up the people that go, oh, why? What have you got? Or, oh, that'd be nice. And then wearing a patch, you can just show them and you can just, I say this light actually regenerates my body using reflecting the light. And then they're like, oh my God, and then the story goes. So, yeah, it's pretty cool. Does anyone have any questions on that at all? Happy? No? Okay. So we've got a couple. Oh, we're still going pretty well. So Cheryl, just I thought with your professional background and stuff, the power of the right mindset to keep positive, because sometimes people I've patched a few people and it hasn't gone to anything, right? But then other people, they've come in and um, they've bought packs and they're doing some stuff. So I noticed with you over the past few months, even just a really strong mindset. So I don't know if you have a couple of tips that you could help us, just because network marketing can be a bit up and down.
Thank you. I definitely can share something. I'm wondering how much time do I have? Because I took some notes. So
Just a
just
couple
let
of
me know.
minutes. Yep, just a couple of
Okay.
minutes.
Okay. Well, I want to start with one of the greatest barriers to any opportunity is often mindset, right? It's not usually lack of resources or even talent, mindset. Sometimes we think because we won't do it, other people won't. And when we start looking at opportunities, anything through these lenses, then it distorts our beliefs. It causes us to be biased. And we think, oh, because I'm thinking of myself this way, then other people probably are thinking that way. And we're looking through some uncomfortable and unrealistic lenses. In this business, especially if you have a growth mindset, then you're going to see potential where other people see limitations. So I would challenge you to get to see opportunities, shift your mindset. We're in the network marketing arena, right? And when we talk to people, we've heard some of the barriers or hindrances that we might get from other people. We hear stuff like, I wouldn't sell this, or I wouldn't do that, or that's not for me, or that wouldn't work. When you really think about it, what is that? That's mindset, right? It's it's mindset. It's their preference. It's not the opportunity itself. And that's what I want you guys to think about. Someone telling you no, not yet. It's their preference, it's their mindset. It's not the opportunity that they're rejecting. So be mindful of that. Sometimes we assume that other people think like we do, mindset. What we're doing in actuality is projecting our beliefs, what we think, what we do, we're projecting it onto other people and assuming that they're going to share them. But often they don't. You might love this opportunity, somebody else might dismiss it. One person might dismiss it, another person might be like, hey, here's a path to additional income. Here's a path for support. Here's a path for growth because we're in a community now, right? Here's a path to help me, other people, my family improve their lives. And so I want you guys to think that way because it's critical if you're going to shift your mindset. If you think about, let me help other people solve their problems, let me help other people improve their lives. This is critical to mindset. Louis said earlier, I wrote it down. I'm not selling you anything. The patch sells itself. I don't know how many people you've patched, right? People call you back. I know people call me back after patching. I need this. I'm all about being well, staying healthy. And all I'm doing is patching and they're calling me back. You've got to have the right mindset because it's critical if you're gonna survive in this business. You can't only be thinking about yourself. You've got to think about other people. You can't just think about your struggle. You got to see the bigger picture. We've got to be outward focused when we're thinking about mindset because when we're outward focused, something powerful happens. And we start asking, I wonder who might benefit. And that's where you get your list. I wonder who might need to be in my circle. That's where you get your list. Or I wonder who might be looking for an opportunity. That's the word that we use, right? Right, Louise? Opportunity.
Right.
And if we can do this, we all have different goals for doing this. We all have different motivations. We all have different visions. But if we have a mindset shift, then we can do other things. And the mindset shift that I'm asking you to do is to think about not so much you and your personal preference, but about how you can use this opportunity to serve other people. Because nobody really gets to decide for other people what's going to happen and how they do this business. And that, friends, that's the beauty of opportunity. So instead of saying, what would I do? Why would I do this? Ask, who might benefit from this? Because somewhere out there, like it said before, someone is looking for this opportunity. They just haven't been introduced yet. That's the mindset shift.
That's fantastic. Thank you.
Welcome.
I like that.
I just love being around positive people because, sometimes you can look at a glass half full and a half empty. I'll just share just 2 seconds with you, but I had a change of mindset when I went to Anaheim, California for the 21st anniversary of LifeWave. Because sometimes when people would say no, it would hurt my feelings. I want everybody to love me. So I was taking no personally. But I did have a vision and I did hear a voice that says, Louise, it's not about you anyway. Get tougher skin and ask, ask, ask. And if they say no, dust your feet and move on and look for the people who really want change in their life. Some people are stuck in a rut, and that's okay. That's their path. But if there's people that want an opportunity that don't know about an opportunity, that's my assignment. It's not about me. It's about making a difference in my community. And those are the walking papers that I was given. And that's the reason I'm here today, to make a difference in the people that I love and care about, and looking for new friends that I can make a difference in their lives, to be the light.
Right. Well, I'm in the right room because I'm fired up. That's wonderful. Thank you so much. All right, I'll get motoring on here. Get that one. Hold on. So we have a little incentive that we're doing. So with network marketing, you have to have a goal, okay? You want to get places. You'd like to have your patches paid for. And we've just spoken about the opportunity and how we can bless others. And there's people on this call and there's people outside that would like to have their patches covered. So we have to do a little bit of action to get that going. But as I say, we are a team and we build the team together. Okay, so the first one is we have a 5-5, and I've called it the Get Start. So like in network marketing, they say 20-20. I mean, 20-20 takes a little while. 20 on the left, 20 on the right. So we're going to start with 5 on the left, 5 on the right. So I've even done a little graphic. I was very proud of my Canvas skills. They're getting better. So our incentive is, if you can do this in the next 3.5 weeks, we will gift you a X39. So that's $100 value as well. So this is following the system, working with your upline. And then it's got here customers building outside volume. We don't worry about that too much. But your upline will help you, okay? So it is about, maybe you might want to have a launch with the people you love. You can do it on a Zoom, or you can have a launch at home if that's what you want to do. Or you can have it in your office. I know Cheryl has an office. Cheryl had a launch in her home as well. She chose to do that. But we have many different ways that you can have a launch, especially if you have a large number of people that you would like to show this. Then Louise will come in, we'll come in, we'll help put out the demonstration. And yeah, the people come in, they get their patches, and they're like, oh, great. So that launch would be the quick way to do it. Builders create the depth, and that just means we put people in, then they share with their loved ones. That's how this business works. Cheryl quite rightly said right there that you have the right mindset, that you're serving others, and we're looking for people that want the technology, and the technology does it for us. Patch and run. Because they are absolutely, people are like, what is this? I have never felt anything like this before, kind of thing. And there are plenty of people that are looking for it. The best idea would be to set a time available with your upline to meet with you and set a plan to get these done. 5-5 goes into 10-10. into the months. We run like 90-day plans usually, so January through the end of March. But this is just in March, and this will really kickstart your business. So, any questions? All easy peasy. Okay, easy peasy. Right. So just quick, I'll just touch on some learning that you can do, some support. So This Is It team, we use their system. They are the highest grossing team in the whole world. Their system is just simple, and they have an on the go podcast, which is really, really good. It's free, it's on Spotify. These people are, changing lives everywhere, and they're telling us how they're doing it. And it's like listening to Cheryl. Cheryl, you could record one of these, but like it's like listening to Cheryl while you're out on the road, and you've got positivity going in about, oh, I met this person at the store, I did this, but it is really fantastic. So you can go onto Spotify, you can go onto thisisitteam.com. Your upline can text that to you if you don't know that one. And then you can go on there and you can click on it to get it. So we also have the school system. I've just got a little picture of it here. You can go on the This Is It team school system. You can learn about the X39, a few other things, 20-step system just to learn what to do through signing people up, changing settings, all of this, working the back office is all in that school platform. So that is really cool too. You can do that any time of the day or night, so you don't have to call your upline at 3 a.m. in the morning. Very, very handy. So you are supported 100% of the way. You don't have to do this alone. We are here to help you. And that's why it is a different business model to just being self-employed. Right? So we're all here. We love, we're serving others. And just a few minutes a day listening to that podcast. I'd love to get some feedback. If anyone has anybody give me feedback that they've listened to it and any benefits, please.
I think for me, this has been really what shifted my mindset. I do crisis calls all over Georgia, and sometimes I'm driving 2 hours, hour and a half. And I decided I am gonna go to LifeWave University. And I've been just listening to it. Now I am more knowledgeable. I feel more confident because I'm getting the information. I listen, there's an interview there with David Schmidt that talks about how the patch works. I am listening to that 24/7 because that helps me. The people that I'm around, they want to know science. They want to know detail. And I don't have to call Louise anymore. Louise, you talk to them. I can actually answer them for myself. And I think it's because I've been just focused on listening to the podcast. So I would highly recommend it. Highly recommend it. Motivating. Like I can do it too.
Mhm.
That's
Oh.
it.
Mhm.
Cheryl, like everyone on here, Canute and I just won a trip to Honolulu, all expenses paid. I would love to have all of you on the trip with us, just for
Yes.
helping people, right? But we worked it out. We know how to do it, and we've been on, this will be our sixth. So we kind of like, you're right. And it's a positive mindset, hanging out with positive people. And yeah, there's so many rewards as well. So thank you.
And I have to agree with that too, because when I work out at the gym on the treadmill, I listen to it with my headphones, and that's something I've never done before, but I enjoy listening to that because it builds my belief. Instead of my little world, I can hear people that have soared in so many different ways. They have like 5,000 people on their team, and I thought, wow, if they can do it. And, I was listening to a banker who he had all kinds of, he said, I can't do this. But then when he had an experience and he started sharing, it just changed his world, just changed his life. So I just want to surround myself with people that are like minded and who want to get out of their comfort zone, because I'm 73 years old and, I don't have a lot of time to play around. I still have some goals in my life. And so that's the reason I'm hanging out with y'all.
Yeah, for sure. And it's for any age, like kids,
Yeah.
even kids are drinking energy drinks that aren't any good for them. Just patch them. You can say make money from this and you're going to get all the energy, right? So there's just yeah, it's incredible. So weekly goals, right? We're coming to the end of the meeting. Think about, write down how many people do you think you can patch this week? Like I go out, I was at tennis today. I patched a couple of people that were there. They're tennis people, they have a sore back and what have you. But normally I have to go for a walk. I have to meet people because I've been in this for a little while. But it is people in front of you that you can, oh, I help people have better health without medication is a good line if you like that or something like that. It's just an opening line to see if people are open to, are they interested in improving their health. I've found that that's opened up a lot. I've been going on these alignable apps and stuff. I've been meeting some people. I'm just crafting my lines for them because they're all expecting someone to come on and sell to them. I refuse to do that, and I'm getting some good results. So I'll report back once I've nailed it. for for good ways to meet people. Sample cards, and we have the link for that if you want to do that. Invite people to the Zooms. We have a calendar on Telegram, the Telegram app, and on our Facebook, our team Facebook page. I put the calendar on for the week. So we run a number of Zooms. I know Louise runs Zooms, and as I said before, Cheryl, in your team, you're going to start to do that. So that is really when you're running your own business. Like you're getting good at it. So that's something that you want to get to. And our team goal is to sponsor weekly, right? It's to make something happen weekly. So when you're patching people, contacting people, people are going to come in. A lot of people come in with the brand partner. They don't have to start straight away. They can come in, get their experience, and then start sharing. There is no obligation. Some people are like, oh, I just want to, can I just try it for a month? They can come in as a customer, right? So with a view, we put people in as customers, not as a forefront though, usually as a brand partner, but we put them in as customers when they're kind of like, oh, I don't know. Um, and I know that they can wear a patch for a month. They're going to probably have a good result. And then we build belief through action because if you just do patch one person and they don't get a good result, you go, oh, okay. But now I know I need to patch a number of people because I know some people are going to get a good result. Um, Patch, invite, duplicate. That's our mantra. And very exciting. We've got the This Is It convention. I'll just show August 7 to 9. Now that's in Orlando, so that's actually good for all of us because we're all on that side. So this is the people that have got the most massive business in the world in LifeWave. They are from Palm Beach in Florida. They are teaching. So we've been going to these for a couple of years. So um, the Danny McDaniel, he's next to David Schmidt there. He's a pastor in Dallas. They're like 3-star presidentials. It's the highest you can be in the LifeWave, making millions of dollars a year. And the merits, of course, at the front are their uplines. So, they're fantastic. And I think Kerry and her husband, so they're on the right-hand side. She's a pastor as well. So that's pretty exciting. Belle, they're all there, but they'll all be speaking and telling us how they have built their business. Obviously, they do it in different ways because they use, with their Christianity and stuff. So they do that. Some of their stuff on Facebook is really good. But I think, Louise, you could show Belle that maybe with the McDaniels, how they do it, because they're very, very successful. Um, And then, yeah, Meredith's there. And then you've got Renita on the left. Renita's like a fitness bunny. So you have all different types of people, but they're all, the highest achievers. So Canute and I were going. A couple of other people from our team are going. You're most welcome. If you can't make it, get the virtual and you can watch it. You have 45 days to watch it as well. And we're just about done. So our next meeting will be next week on the 15th at 5 p.m. So I managed to get that sorted. Excellent. All right, stop share. Stop share. Thank you all. Is there anybody want to share anything? Please, now. Have a good meeting. Get a couple of good points. I'm thinking, what have I forgotten, Louise? But 5-5. You can do it. You can do it. With some action, get your list started, get onto your upline, and let's get it. Let's get going. Awesome. All right. Everybody have a great night tonight.
Thank you.
Lovely
You
to
too.
lovely to see you all. Lovely to see you, Belle.
Thank you. Good to
See
see
ya.
you too.
Thanks for coming
All right.
on. Nice to see
Okay.
you again, Cheryl. All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.